to the Story Behind the Agent podcast. I'm your host, Brett Chambers. My co-host, Brian Miltenberger, Chambers-Miltenberger Team here at C&amp Mortgage.
Thanks, Brett. And just a little bit about the podcast. This week's actually a little bit different. Usually we have an agent on and they come on and tell their story. This week we kind of were thinking through of what we could bring value to our listeners. And I think we came up with a good plan to come out or to explain to people, a good action plan for a week, especially now in a really tough market. So hope you enjoy it.
Thanks, Brian. Welcome to this week's Story Behind the Agent podcast. This week, as we said, is a little different. We've been interviewing agents and it's been amazing, but we had something with our coaching that was just so valuable that we just had to share it with realtors, really anybody in sales. We've followed it for this plan for several years now. We've gotten it down pat, and it's really benefited our business. And I think, right, Brian, there's so many realtors, lenders, there's so many people out there struggling right now in this tight market.
Right. When we talk, it's kind of our main question that we like to ask everybody is kind of what advice you would give, because that's kind of a daunting task. You're a new agent and you're sitting there, okay, you got your license and you're like, now what? This is a great plan that really breaks down, what are your key tasks for the day, each day, Monday through Friday. And this is kind of like your non-negotiable type of stuff. And it keeps you intentional and, really, like I said, it can be very, overwhelming, because you got always 100 things to do at a time, and it really, simplifies it for everybody. So,
yeah, I mean, as an agent, you get busy, you're doing certain things, but are you really prospecting, right? What are you doing? And right now, prospecting is everything. I mean, always everything. You should always be doing it. But if you're not doing it right and you're not doing it intentionally, and you're not doing it every day, it's going to be on. In this market, it's hard. It's basically impossible. So, we want people to take away from this something that they can plan a little bit at a time, not too daunting, right? You started. We implemented it one at a time, one day at a time, but did it every day on it. So hopefully, you listen to this, you get a couple ideas. If you want to know more, you want a whole presentation about it, you want to sit down and have coffee with us, whatever it is, we can talk about it and talk about how we've done it, how we're getting better. We're not perfect at everything, obviously, but we're getting better at this. And it's really just daily prospecting. So let's start with the first task. First task, we got Monday. And honestly, you can kind of set it up the way you want to set it up. It just gets everything that you could possibly do to prospect, right? So Monday. What do you do on Monday? You wake up, you had some contracts, you signed contracts. Well, guess what? You still got a prospect. So we're looking Monday we call it the daily success plan. You can call it anything you want. We could call it the Chambers plan or the Miltenberger plan. It doesn't matter. But Monday, you're prospecting from 9 to 2. You can it's 2 hours. You pick your 2 hours. Or 9 to 11, 2 hours, and you prospect for 2 hours every single day. Doesn't matter when you do it, earlier the better, because as you know, in real estate, things can get chaotic in the afternoons. So what are you doing on Monday? You're prospecting to inspired listings, FSBOs, neighbors, neighborhoods with new listings, internet leads that may have come across over the weekend, right? But things that people don't and agents don't think about. And honestly, we're sitting here talking about it. Yep. And we have never been asked, do you have any referrals for me by an agent? I mean, rarely. I have been asked by a few agents of ours that we work with that we constantly ask. They ask us, but not daily, not weekly, not on a strict schedule. So don't forget to ask your referral partners on Monday. Call them, your loan officers, your builders, your title companies, your maybe a photographers, stagers, insurance agents, home inspectors, electrician, plumbers, CPAs, attorneys, different types of attorneys. There's so many people that you can partner with, you can talk to, you can call on and make sure you ask them for business. You're not, as a realtor, you don't do this just because you might enjoy it, but you still got to feed your family, you still got to do things. So we know it is a business, even though you're friends with them or whatever, it's still a business that you're still trying to run. So don't be afraid to ask. And I hope, I would love to have my agents that I work with or whatever say, hey, Brett, do you have anything for me? That would mean, hey, look at this is awesome. They're going out.
Proactive,
yeah,
right.
They're staying proactive. They're going to get it, right? And we call them and we ask them the same thing. And if they ask us back, that's awesome. That's exactly what we want to hear. So I think that's a great strategy for Monday. And you can take it any day of the week you want, but Monday it's a good start.
It's a good start to your week for sure. And that's a really good feeling, starting your day off Monday morning and you've already been productive and, calling your referral partners, like you were saying, and doing all your prospecting. And
you have your list of FSBOs, your expired listings. You know exactly what you got to do for 2 hours. It's already there, right? It's already set. You get in, you dial. That's it.
Right.
Period. Now let's look at Tuesday.
So Tuesday is all your updates to all your sellers and buyers. For your sellers, your what is the status of your transaction? What type of deadlines do you have coming up? Do you have any addendums, inspection repairs, appraisal updates? Same thing for the buyer side. We do kind of the same thing. It's, we're calling our agents and giving them updates on Tuesdays. It just keeps your clients involved during the process. It can be a super stressful time, like we talk about all the time. People buying or selling their home, it's their largest transaction of their life, the more that you can, stay in touch with them and provide, like we were saying last week, an agent is more of like a calming, figure in a transaction, right? So the more you can talk to them and provide comfort to your clients throughout the process, the better. And then always the big thing is asking them for a referral. Nobody is, a better person to ask than somebody that's currently going through the process right now with you. That's the one thing that's going to be a constant through the week, right? Is always asking for referrals. You say this, hear the saying a lot, but it's the person who asks the most gets the most. So, it's part of the business and, they understand and, you're providing value to them. So if you're doing the right things and you're truly, walking your clients through the transaction and doing a great job and giving them updates, you're out there trying to help more people. So.
And I'd say, you're like, oh, well, I talked to him yesterday or texted him last night or did ever on Monday or whatever. So be it. It is Tuesday. It's time for you to call. It's time for you to check in. But really, what are you doing? You're asking for their business, right? Tuesdays they're asking. And you ask them enough times, all they say is, hey, this is the way you end, right? It's like, hey, Brad, everything's going well. The appraisal's looking great. By the way, do you happen to know anybody looking to buy or sell? Well, no, not at this time. So they know that you're ending the phone call that way. So
it can be kind of uncomfortable at first, but it's just one of those things. Like I said, it's
they know it's coming though.
Right, exactly.
Hey, I got your back.
Right. And maybe they don't have anybody that, at the time, but that's fine. At least you're being top of the mind, top of their mind for maybe, a couple weeks down the road. It could be after they're closing or whatever, right? At least you're staying proactive and like I said, trying to stay top of mind. So.
And honestly, it's about a 20% return. So if you got 10 clients under contract, you should get about 2 referrals from that a week from there. So it's key to staying on top of their mind. So
yeah,
awesome. Well, I guess we'll take a look at Wednesday. So Wednesday is our past client database calls. So if you're an agent and you've been in the business, you got a lot of past clients, right? So you want to touch base with them. You want to constantly, really, we do it 4 times a year. You can spread yours out, right? So you might have an A list, you might have a B list, you have a C list, right? You have your list as agents. Who's your best referrals? Who's your second best referrals that come from? I keep in touch with your best referrals every month, right? I would have a list and a plan that here's my best referrals. I'm calling them every month. Here's my next one. I'm calling every 2 months. Here's my ones that haven't really given me referrals in the past. And I'm going to call them 4 times a year. But you're calling them, checking in. You're honestly checking in. You want to know about their family. Probably have a CRM. Keep it up to date in the CRM. And just again, every time. Hey, I can't, do you happen to know anybody that's looking to buy or sell right now? I would love an opportunity. No, I'm sorry, I can't. Well, hey, do me a favor, keep me in mind. If anybody is looking that to buy or sell, would you send them my way? And they'll say yes, right?
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, you think it's just such a, like I said, it can be uncomfortable doing it. And you're like, oh, what the heck? All your clients know, whatever. But they don't, and it's amazing to see, once you kind of get in a rhythm of doing this for a while. And we kind of revamped ours at the beginning of the year, especially with our past clients, and really being intentional about doing it. And really, if you, like I said, you start staying consistent and calling them, the results are there.
They come in.
So.
We had 85 yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday. So, and then the other thing you can do on Wednesdays is handwritten notes. Everybody knows their handwritten notes. They know they need to send it out. But look, write 5 handwritten notes on Wednesday, right? 5 handwritten notes to your A clients or your B clients or whatever. Just keep track of it when you send them. It's
all staying top of mind.
Yeah. Simple prospecting. What this is.
Yes. And Thursday is your pre-approved and looking. This is super important right now, especially in a tough market, for buyers and sellers. People are getting down and, there's no houses for sale. I'm getting outbid or, whatever the case may be. This is huge, just reconnect with them, schedule appointments for the weekend, keep them motivated. You can do future casting, and, contact your lender if you need an updated pre-approval or loan estimate for the weekend. It just really, like I said, gets them motivated, before the weekend. And once again, asking them for referrals. Those are the best people to ask for. They're, like I said, with the Tuesday on the updates, the people that are, currently in your pipeline or an active client are the best ones to go after. So,
that future casting, I think, is awesome right now because how many agents or how many clients get pre-approved and they don't get the house and they don't get the house and they don't get the house. But if you can keep them motivated and put the offer in, it's like, hey, look at that pool. It would be amazing to have that pool or whatever. That backyard is so amazing for your kids or the kitchen, you cook, whatever you can do for your clients to keep them motivated on Thursdays and not just, we always talk about our agents, right? It's like, hey, your agents, whoever it is, say Susie or Bob, like, hey, Agent Bob is amazing, right? Kind of really give them that kind of insurance right now because it's really hard, as everybody knows, for clients to get in homes. So those Thursday calls are important.
Absolutely.
So now we'll look at Friday. Friday, honestly, Friday's kind of, you can go toward your social media for Friday, right? You could make it pretty quick, but here again, 2 hours, Facebook, Instagram. We can come up with weekly videos, tips, stuff. When we do this podcast, we do things like that. TikTok videos, content like frequently asked questions, checklists by borrowers. Did you know? Kind of things, current market trends. Reach out if you want current market trends too. For on our side for rates and things, we're happy. We have a lot of resources that way to help provide to y'all as well. Share client testimonials, things you can do through social media to help. touch base with your clients, because that's just another resource, right, to do that. So really it's to hold you accountable, right? Maybe you pick Monday and Tuesday to get started, right? And you can't waver from it. And that's the hardest part when you get busy, is wavering from prospecting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And and for new agents, something I thought about, like, you're a new agent, you're like, wait, man, I don't have any past clients, right? Or, hey, I don't have anybody who really look. I call that in 2 minutes, right? I have my 2 people, and it's like, well, what would you do then? Go back to Monday.
Go back to prospecting. Absolutely. You can always prospect.
BizBos, go back to all that stuff and just, but make sure whatever that 2 hours is time blocked, is done every single time.
And it gives you structure, and it's super fast paced. Things are going all sorts of ways, always, Monday through, 7 days a week. It's refreshing to have, just like you said, that non-negotiable, structure in your day. Like, hey, Monday morning, I'm doing this. Tuesday, I'm doing this. Each day you know exactly, at least for a couple hours of the day, you know exactly what you're going to be doing. It is refreshing to know when you wake up what you have to do that day, no matter what, and just get started. Instead of thinking about all the fires you got to put out, do this first. Because once you start putting fires out, your energy goes down. Okay.
And we still struggle with it, but it's there. I'd say, if you're an agent and you're struggling with this and you really want to have some kind of plan, find a partner to do it with, or come into our office.
Yeah,
right?
We're doing it every day.
Come into our office, call me, talk to Brian, sit down here. We could start a Zoom, whatever. And, through our coaching, they do a Zoom where it's 2 hours of just people typing, hey, I got a referral. They're doing the same kind of structure, and we could do it. If you're interested in doing that, reach out to us again. We start it through Zoom, and for those 2 hours, we're on Zoom video, watching each other do it, right? And
just another way to keep you accountable. And the whole point is just to be proactive, right?
It's so important right now in this market to be proactive. Just over and over, we hear beat down stories and people getting frustrated, and you see people leaving the business, not only realtors, but lenders. And, you can't just do your best. You got to do what it takes. And this is part of doing what it takes.
Right. Yeah.
So it will get better, but let's stick to the daily success plan, or the whatever you want to call it, and just reach out to us.
Yeah, if you have any questions, like Brett was saying at the beginning, we have a whole presentation slide of each day, breaks down. If you want to pass along to any other people in the business that you think might benefit from it, reach out to us. We'd be glad to send it to you. Like Brett was saying, if you want to give us a call and do it together, or whatever you want to do, that's what we're here for. So we're all about doing stuff like that. So.
Yeah, motivates us too, right? So I hope I know it's a little different. I hope this was some value that we could add, some different things we could add to help you right now. This episode, we'll bring back some more agents and talk with them. I'm excited about a few more we got coming up, but hope you saw some value in this. So we'll talk to you later.
Thanks everyone for listening to this week's podcast. Like we were saying, a little different. Hopefully you guys found a little value in that. And once again, reach out if any of you guys have any other questions. Once again, it's Brian Miltenberger and Brett Chambers with the Chambers-Miltenberger team here at C&amp Mortgage.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this, please, we need some reviews. Enjoy it. Be honest. Give us whatever you really think we deserve, but we love those 5-star reviews. So, and you're an agent and you're also listening to this, enjoy it, and you want your loans closed on time. You want great communication throughout the transaction, and you want your leads followed up like green on the paper, then give us a shout. 540-908-7760. We'll see you on the next podcast.